Welcome back, everybody. Got two topics I want to cover today. One, did the United States digital dollar already launch? I think it may have. Number two, Flare. I've got a question for you about Flare. And before we get out of here today, we're going to have Clinton Donnelly, the crypto tax fixer, weigh in on the Spark airdrop and what it would mean for cryptocurrencies to have a currency designation. Let's go ahead and roll that beautiful intro.
This is Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Subscribe for new content notifications. Now, here's Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back, everybody. Let me get this right here. I've got the wrong screen open here. Let me get this set up. There we go. Okay, welcome back, everybody. So boots on the ground, feet planted firmly on the ground here at 55 cents right now, currently today. What I want to get into, let's go ahead and get into it right away, is a couple little pieces of news in the front of this. Shout out to DJ Peter Vass. Fidelity to offer Bitcoin collateralized loans. Look, another huge step forward with a huge company that has brand awareness like nobody's business. This is going to accelerate pretty quickly, right? All right, now looking here from Bank XRP, Phone PE and Ripple joined the Mojo Loop Foundation as sponsor members. That's exciting too, banking the unbanked. Now, let's drop it down in a low one a second. Stellar, shout out to Stellar. I've said to you guys many times on this channel that I am a big fan of Stellar because Jed McCaleb created the XRP ledger, hired Arthur Brito, David Schwartz. The guy can't be all bad. And then eventually left Ripple and went off and started Stellar, but took the XRP ledger code with him because he was the creator. So we are thrilled to announce for Stellar that Bitbond and Bankhaus van der Heid are now issuing Euro stable coins known as EURBs, the first stable coin issued directly by a banking institution on Stellar. And this is the actual announcement and press release from the Stellar Network Foundation. I'm not going to read it again, but it's interesting to me because this is a huge step forward here, I believe. I believe what you're witnessing is a massive step forward. And just to look at this, this is 30 seconds, if that. Euro stablecoin is being issued by one of the oldest banks in the world, and it's being done on Stellar Blockchain Network. Announced Wednesday. Established in 1954, the Heid Bank, Germany's Bankhaus van der Heid Bank, established in 1754, is working with tokenization and digital asset custody technology provided by Bitbond for the first direct issuance of a stablecoin by a banking institution on Stellar. It also says down here, Bitbond has already partnered with the Stellar Development Foundation to issue a euro-denominated stablecoin with Tempo, and has also received approval from the German regulator BaFin to issue tokenized bonds, also on Stellar. Now that is from the Bit founder and CEO. So I mean, I got to tell you, this to me is pretty damn exciting. Now we have to couple this news and this understanding of this with this recent news also for Stellar. The U.S. government plans to use USDC stablecoin to offer foreign aid in Venezuela. This is also being done on the Stellar Network. They spoke to CEO of Circle, Jeremy Allaire. And basically, I'm going to read this little highlighted part here. The U.S. Federal Reserve and Treasury Department would release funds to the government, which would then utilize the funds to mint USDC. Then the USDC would be sent to AirTM crypto exchange, where they would be distributed to the wallets of Venezuelan medical workers and locals who can withdraw the funds as bolivars at the free market rate. Now, this is remarkable to me because, I mean, all of this is ending up hooking up with Stellar. And we have said time and time again, we've had many conversations on this channel about the idea of Stellar being more like a front end, which would be like a lot of, stable coins and dollars floating out, retail side. And then thinking of XRP and the ledger as more a back end side settlement, wholesale CBDC platforms, the whole derivatives, clearing houses, things of that nature. It doesn't mean that you can't use other functions on those networks. It just means that it would appear from the information we've learned over the years we've been in this space that this is the kind of shape that's taking in the space right now. So we're going to keep an eye on that. Now here we have the interview from Julia Chatterley and Brad Garlinghouse. I want to change gears and go to Flare now because in a second we're going to hear from Clinton Donnelly about the ramifications or implications of Spark airdrop for us XRP holders and his thoughts on the tax implication there. And then we're going to also hear about, a possible currency designation on digital assets as a whole and what that may mean for us also. So with that being said, let's listen to Brad Garlinghouse and this exchange with Julia right here, and then we'll pop back in just a second. Here we go.
Ask about that next time. Talk to me about Flare Networks. How should XRP holders, customers of Ripple and the platform view what you're doing here?
Well, in this case, it's not so much about what our customers, this is a very exciting startup called Flare Networks. They're doing some very interesting stuff with something called the Spark token, but it is really distinct from what Ripple is doing. And to me, it's just a further example of people's recognition that XRP is such an efficient digital asset. And as you and I've talked about, utility will drive the long-term value of any digital asset. Seeing a company like Flare Networks and seeing them use the XRP network in various ways, I think is an opportunity to go forward. But it doesn't affect RippleNet customers and how we are using ODL for our customers. It's largely separate from that.
Yeah, I should make the point, sorry. It is a startup, but it is Ripple funded, which is why I was sort of drawing the connection.
For sure.
Does it mean, what does it mean for XRP holders?
Yes.
What does it mean for XRP holders specifically?
I think XRP holders are deservedly excited about what Flare is doing. I'm excited about what Flare is doing. As we've said, anytime you're seeing real utility solving a real problem, and I think Flare has carved out an interesting niche, and I think as they move forward with this airdrop of Spark tokens, I'm optimistic for them. I've met the management team there. I think they're very talented. I think they have a clear vision of the problem they're going to solve.
We've got like 2 weeks to the airdrop, and as far as I saw even today, some exchanges, Coinbase, Kraken, are not participating.
We know now that Coinbase is participating in the Spark drop. Let's keep going. We'll get to this. Pay attention. We're getting ready to hit a spot here.
Why? Any concerns?
I honestly don't know. I mean, I certainly think the Flare management team is very talented, and I would defer to them on what's going on. Ripple is not part of those conversations, and so we're watching with interest, and certainly we want to be supportive and helpful, but we're letting them take the lead.
So real quick, Ripple's not a part of those conversations. Totally understood. Ripple is a investor in Flare Networks, and Flare Networks is a utility fork off of XRP and the ledger, right? What's interesting here is that this startup called Flare Networks has been able to get the attention of 50 plus exchanges at this point to participate in the airdrop, and for at least 2 enormous platforms like Coinbase and Cumberland have gotten them to commit to stopping trading on the 3rd largest cryptocurrency asset in the market, XRP, to stop the buy and sell, the send and receive happening on their platforms, not the ledger, mind you, but on their platforms. Cumberland's going to stop the OTC, which is what they do anyway, largely anyway, because they're a large institutional exchange platform. And Coinbase has said that they're going to stop the send and receives for the snapshot of the flare to be able to get the Spark token drop, but take a snapshot of the XRP ledger. What's interesting to me is that I have never heard of the ability of a startup company to want to give an airdrop to another coin holder and be able to convince a couple of the largest exchanges in the market to stop this trading to some degree of a completely different asset, which happens to be the third largest asset in the entire crypto space. What does that mean? And will other exchanges fall in line and do the same thing before the snapshot, which is approaching very quickly in just 2 days? And if you are on iTrust Capital and you have a crypto IRA that is XRP, they will be taking a snapshot at 4 p.m. Pacific today, and another one on December 11th at 4 p.m. as well, which will be the December 12th date that we all heard at UTC time. Let's keep going.
So, and are there any plans to plug RippleNet into Flare functionality? You can see where I'm leading here.
I can see where you're leading here. Keep going, Julia. She just asked him, do you plan on seeing Flare and all this utility that's being created, the benefit of XRP and the use case that they're creating here with smart contracts and stuff? Do you see Flare Network tapping back into RippleNet and ODL? Oh, Julia Chatterley got herself. She knows what's going on around here.
These are all leading questions.
Yeah, nothing I'm ready to announce today.
I'm sorry. What did he say? Nothing that I'm ready to announce today. Here's the itch that I can't quite reach here. Okay? And the itch that I can't quite reach here is that, okay, that's not a no. And Julia even acknowledges, woo, that's not a no. You didn't say no. And that's right. He did not say no. It was nothing he was ready to announce today. What I find interesting is that if you get that many exchanges to participate in your airdrop for XRP holders, one, will Spark token eventually be listed on these platforms, or is this literally just going to be if you're an XRP holder? Will this expand to the exchanges listing Spark at some point? I don't think so. It doesn't look like that way now. It might change, but I don't think so at this point. Now, the other question here, there's many questions, and they're all positive, and I think something good is in the wings here, because what I see him smiling about right there suggests that, yeah, I can't quite speak on it right now. And I tend to think, how do you get an exchange that does institutional level buying in cryptocurrency assets like Cumberland to stop over-the-counter trading of a completely different asset just because you want to do an airdrop? How do you get Coinbase to do the same? Maybe it's because they all understand at some level there's a bigger picture here for this utility fork of Flare Networks. And at some point in the not too distant future, maybe it does involve plugging into RippleNet and ODL and the smart contract capabilities for Flare Networks, taking advantage of that for all of the benefit of the customers of everyone on RippleNet, and having access to the liquidity of ODL with that new utility and use case. And maybe if that is the case, maybe that's how you get two of the largest platforms out here to stop OTC for you while you take a snapshot of someone else's ledger. All right, that's going to do it for me. I don't know what the answer is, but there is a there. And I think it's a positive there. I don't know what exactly it is, and I am certainly speculating here, but it is compelling to me, and certainly one of the most intriguing things I've been watching in this space since I've been here, to see what Flare has been able to do without the announcement of their own list of partners. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe, leave a comment below, share with somebody you know, hit that notification bell, and make sure you check out all the links in the description box and the comment section. Before we get out of here, let me play you that clip from Clinton Donnelly that I told you I would play you, and it's really, really good. So let me get that clip up for you right now, and here we go. Enjoy. We are stopping in and talking with Clinton Donnelly, the crypto tax fixer. Clinton, how are you?
I'm doing great. Pleasure to be here with you, Brad.
Man, I'm so glad you're here, and the audience is really glad you're here. We're going to do a tight 2 questions on things that have been bothering everybody in the crypto space, specifically in the XRP community. Spark token, tax implication. What are we talking about real quick here?
Hey, look, the IRS has made it very clear that when you receive the Spark token, that's considered receiving income. You may not like it. It's a freebie. You don't like it, give it to me. But it's a tax. Now, Now we don't really know how much the value of it is. And
Right.
that'll take time to shake out. But the tax will be at your ordinary tax rate. Are you at the 22% bracket, 24, 32, or higher? You know, you will be taxed on it. When will you have to pay that tax? You have to pay it by the end of the year, end of next year, right? Because the first drop is in February or in January this year.
That's right. And then the following months thereafter. So we will keep an eye on that. Thank you for that. The next question we want to ask you is the implication, because we saw Coinbase talk about issuing a 1099 miscellaneous and no longer a 1099K. And we hear everyone talking about leaning into the notion of digital currencies broadly. The regulatory agencies and Federal Reserve expanding the definition to encompass digital currencies in the definition of money. What might this mean as a tax implication for crypto holders?
If they came out and said that cryptocurrencies were taxed as currency, the key impact is that you lose access to the long-term capital gains tax break. So your tax on the gains is still calculated the same way, is going to be at your ordinary tax bracket, right? 22, 24, 32%, as opposed to say 15%. So that's a big difference.
Yeah, it is a big difference. And obviously, it's tough to speak on these things when they're not really formally put out as of yet. We are leaning in here for speculating and just trying to be forward thinking should these changes take place, but we will watch them going forward. Real quick, Clinton, tell people where they can find you to check out all the things that you're offering for them.
Well, we have 2 websites. The first one is a website I think is of broad appeal to cryptotaxaudit.com, where we give you a monthly watch of your IRS account, let you know as often as much as 6 months in advance of a future IRS audit on your account. And we also have educational materials there. And the second one is Donnelly Tax Law. If you are a larger trader and would like to have us to do your tax return preparation, we provide a bulletproof crypto tax return service there.
Wonderful. Clinton, thank you so much for stopping by. It is just amazing to be able to have access to you, my friend. We appreciate you so much.
Always a pleasure.